Is it just me, or are you as mesmerized by black sand beaches as much as I am? Well, join me today as I take this inspiration and some black slate that I had laying around. We're going to create a black sand and resin seascape. Now, let's dive in. Welcome, SeaRoxxers. We've got a new shape today, 8 by 16. And it's primed and ready to go. I've got my design all drawn up, and then I'm going to transfer it over. We are using our Alex Fast Dry Caulk by DAP, and I'm going to go ahead and put this into a pastry bag so I can make a smaller bead of caulk on my project board. And this is really just a guideline to keep the paint within those lines because I didn't want to paint the whole ding-dong board. And then it'll kind of settle and flow more like water, which was the intention. Now, once everything was dried, I went ahead and started painting, but you can see there's a middle line there. That's actually hot glue, and I put that down temporarily just to direct the flow of the paint so it would have some movement. Now, the problem with that is when I pulled that hot glue off, it left a ridge where the paint met with it. And I'll show you later on what a pain that was. And I had to adjust my design because of it. So in the future, don't do that. Well, we've gotten to this point. Now it's time for some pouring medium and mica powder to give us a little shimmer and pizzazz to our piece. With everything good and dry, I'm going to use my premix sanded grout in charcoal color this time, which basically is black. And again, I find this at Home Depot, and it's all pre-mixed and ready to go. As you can see, I'm just putting it right up to that line. Actually, that bead of caulk that we originally put down there to guide the paint is now going to be a line for our grout. If you've enjoyed the video so far, I'd appreciate it if you could splash that like button and hit all the bells. So let me show you where we're headed with this. I've got some broken pieces of slate that I mapped out and took a picture of so that when I recreated the project, I would know exactly where they went. So all this is a repurposed slate charcuterie board. And I ordered it accidentally on Amazon, didn't know what the heck I was gonna do with it. And so here we are, I'm breaking it up and kind of turning it into, I guess, some rocky mosaic pieces for our black sand. Now, this step is a little different because we're not actually putting grout over the top of our tile or glass. I'm doing what's called buttering the piece of slate, which is a technique that tile setters use. And yeah, by the way, don't do it over your project, which I did and dropped grout. But anyway, so you're going to butter the back of your piece. What you're doing is a thin layer of grout on the back, then you're going to put it on top of the grout that's not dried, it's still wet. And those two will adhere together as you kind of settle it in and push it down. If you've made it this far, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Now, I knew from the beginning I wanted to add tempered glass to this piece. I just wasn't sure how I was going to do that, and I wanted to add some pizzazz to the water. So here we are with the tempered glass, and there is that stinking line right there. Ugh. So it adjusted, it adjusted how I was going to apply the glass and in what design specifically. But to sum that up, essentially, I use the line as a jumping off point to create a new design in the ocean. Everything is dry, and now we are ready to make all our colors and glass pop with some resin. Now, in this case, I'm not pouring, I'm just sort of drizzling over the top. Because resin spreads, I'm putting it mainly in the middle because I don't want it to spread right over my black grout, because that's not my intention. But after I feel confident enough that I have enough resin on there to start spreading it out, I'm gonna go ahead and push the resin right up to that line, which I'm very happy that I left that line of caulk because it makes a perfect barrier and elevates things just a little bit. I am using art resin today, and I'm also going to add to the top of this some alcohol inks in green and a gold. I'm also adding some more interest to the piece by including some white pigment to make some foamy white water. Once the bubbles are out and all the hairs are removed, I'm going to go ahead and cover it up for the night and stay tuned for the reveal. Here's our full-length black sand inspired ocean resin seascape, whatever you want to call it. It's beautiful. I absolutely love adding tempered glass to resin. It really creates a showstopper with all the sparkle. If you look close enough, you will notice that I added some crystal beads to our ocean for additional brilliance, of course. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video and I inspired you possibly to try something new that you're inspired by. I invite you to join the SeaRoxx family. Like, share, subscribe, hit all the bells with all you and your salty friends. Don't forget to follow me on my other social media platforms and check out my website. Thanks for watching. Until next time, go beach or go home.